I'm not even going to waste any time with the normal bullshit that we do on this show because we have a fucking stacked cast right now. There you go, Mike C. Swear away.
Love it.
Welcome, everyone, to the Pass Control Podcast, a show where a couple of best friends talk about the latest in video games and nerd culture. Sometimes we have guests, and one of those nights is tonight. We, of course, are joined by some lovely folks who I was just with a week ago. What is today, Thursday? A week ago, we were all together. Wednesday?
Exactly a week ago.
Longer? I don't know. Jesse's a giggly guy right now. What's going on over
Mike
there?
just sent me the funniest.
Oh, you got it already?
I'm sorry.
How dare you? How dare you have a good time in my presence?
Sorry.
This is ridiculous. No
My
need to
fault.
apologize. There's no this. I love it. I see my guy giggling up. I gotta know. I'm jealous. I want part of the giggles. But
I'll share it your way.
ooh, we have a
No,
stacked.
I'm gonna drop it in general.
Drop it
Oh,
in.
nice.
We have a stacked cast tonight. Having a great time. I'm going to reminisce a little bit about PAX East and who knows where the night will take us. Of course, we'll just go in order on my screen to make it easier. Returning to the show, you may remember one true Cam Hawkins. Cam, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. I'm here to chat about PAX and all that good. E3's canceled, which sucks, but Trump has been indicted, and that's we love that. We love that for us.
We'll take that trade. We'll take that trade. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a soul stone trade right there. So it is what it is. E3 is dead, but we got the dub. Thanos is defeated. Anyways, also joining us, of course, the only guest for the year that currently has a point on the leaderboard, one Mr. Jesse Vitelli. Jesse, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Just vibing.
Hell yeah.
I don't remember what my 1 point is, but I know I have a point.
I'll have to roll the tape back and find it, but yes, Jesse is the only guest. So you have a chance to either lose your lead tonight or strengthen it. So we'll see. We'll see.
We are trivia winners. We did win trivia at PAX.
That is true. I'm waiting for that VOD to go up on YouTube. If you want to see Jesse and I absolutely reign supreme at PAX East as Steel Battalion, you can look for that video over on Left Behind Podcast probably next week, hopefully next week, because I'm itching to watch. And then joining us for the first time, long time, one Dan Berlin. We have the New York takeover tonight, and Dan is part of that. Dan, how are you doing tonight?
Yeah, y'all brought me out of podcast retirement for this one.
Hell yeah. Oh, when was your last podcast? You and Jesse on YouTube?
Me, Jesse, and Mike.
Wait, really? Wait.
Yeah.
Years ago, probably.
We're bringing
That
the
was actually
band
my
back
last one,
together.
too. Yeah.
We're bringing the
Yeah,
band back
yeah.
together. What was the name of
Digital
that?
download.
Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
Digital Download?
That was a
Hell
lot of
yeah.
fun.
Damn, the resurgence.
When we switched to video for the first time, I think the first episode is called Meat Sports versus Esports.
Okay.
Because Dan coined the term that regular sports are meat sports.
Bringing the Dan back together.
Yeah. Anyway, don't Google any of those. I'm sure they don't hold up.
All right. I mean, I'm going to after
they're
this.
They're great. They're great. They're all on YouTube.
The takes might not hold up in hindsight, you know.
Well,
I
do
think they
Jesse's takes ever
Nah,
hold
they're
up
perfect.
though? I mean, let's just keep it.
I've never made a
100%.
mistake in my entire life.
Okay. And then also joining us for the first time, apparently rebuilding the trifecta. Was it just the three of you, or were there more?
No, we had our one friend Negri as well, was part of Digital Download.
All right, call him up. Let's just complete the.
We'll have to get Negri out of podcast retirement.
One Mike Rosenberg. Mike, I'm so sad.
How
First
we
of
doing?
all,
Why?
Cool. You
Don't
just
be sad.
reminded me with that delicious Cookie Brigade shirt. I never got cookies. I never
you never took
found the cookie booth.
Yeah, I don't know where the cookie
sad.
booth was. It was hidden.
I mean, we had a pretty big booth on the first floor, up from over by like where Tabletop met Expo. You go up those stairs to the left. But
okay.
I'll hold your hands and I'll take you there next year.
Yes.
I'll make sure.
Yeah.
Yes. This is just an excuse for Mike to hold everyone's hand, but I mean,
Of course.
I'll allow
Naturally.
it. And then rounding us out tonight is the true villain of PAX East, Eric Van. I don't know.
What?
I don't know. I had to pick a lane and I just went. So you're the true villain apparently of PAX
The
East.
true villain of PAX East for going to bed early one night.
Exactly.
Not
Well, you can't be the
Not
true
okay.
hero. The true hero was the Cove.
That was the true arena of battle. That was where the final battle was held with God.
Yeah, the Battle of the Minds.
Yeah. The Cove was final destination.
Shout out to Mandolin.
More giggles in the Cove than anywhere else.
real Dippo hours in the Cove.
Yes, 100%. If you would like your brain poisoned, take a trip over to the Cove. That is where all the brain. It is just a vat of brain poison.
The best bar in Boston.
The Cove. That is true, actually.
Parentheses, no outside alcohol.
I had not seen that sign once there, but thank you for disobeying that rule, because you were the true bartender of the Cove, and we all appreciate it.
Listen, that is a title that I am worthy and proud to wear, and I now apparently have to outdo myself times 4 next year, because one Michael Hyam put me on fucking put the call out to video game journalism that I apparently just come with coolers. That's just what I do. So
it's good to have a brand.
Listen, I'll take light alcoholism as a brand.
Could be worse. Could definitely be worse.
It could absolutely be worse. But we got a lovely show tonight. We got a stacked show. We're gonna reminisce a little bit about the Cove, a little bit about the mezzanine. I was gonna make the background here the mezzanine, but I didn't have a good picture. So instead, we're gonna be in front of the Final Fantasy XVI video wall with our friend Moogle over there. I cropped myself out of that picture, so we have just a nice little picture of Moogle. There's also people's faces in this photo. That's why I put the Moogle there, because I don't know, no free ads, I guess. I don't know.
Right.
Anyways, I'm not even gonna run down housekeeping. I guess I will, just really quickly for people that are listening to this on their podcast feed. But if you're wondering, hey, this is not the PTC Movie Club, it's the end of the month. That's gonna be probably next week now, because PAX really threw a wrench in our recording plans. So we will also have another episode after this that will probably not be the movie club. So if you're looking for our thoughts on Peanut Butter Falcon, you can look for that in a week, most likely.
That sounds like a Cookie Brigade cookie.
It does.
I'll pass the notes along.
Yeah. So you can look forward for that over there. But before we even get into it, I want to, off the top, I know at least Eric will have some panels probably popping up on Blood God feed. Plug your PAX stuff if you have stuff up already or stuff coming soon. You and Jesse and whoever.
I think. Well, I was the only one who was there for work, so our panels will be going up. I don't know when the Normandy panel is going live, but the Blood God PAX panel will not be this coming Monday, but the Monday after, which I believe makes it the 10th. We are delaying that by a week because we have some travel and stuff coming up. So it just worked very well to publish the Ultimate RPG Draft there. So you can go check that out. That is Axe of the Blood God, an RPG focused podcast. It was myself, Kat Bailey, Nadia Oxford, as well as Michael Hyam and Scott White on that panel. It was a good time.
It was a fun panel.
Yeah, Video Game Tinder will be going up on the Normandy FM feed. That was myself and Kenneth Shepard alongside Janet Garcia, Jarrett, and Carly were all on that, and it was a very, very good. We closed out the panel room. They could not let more people in. Besides that, head over to Destructoid.com. You can see all my PAX writing there. I've already written up a bunch of previews of stuff that I saw at the show of games that we will probably be talking about tonight. There were a lot of really cool things. We'll get into it when we get into it, but PAX East seemed weird at first, like surprisingly sparse, but I think after we all kind of dug in and went, running through all the different booths and stuff, we found some stuff that surprised. We found some little sleeper gems that are worth keeping an eye on.
Well, you brought it up. Why don't we just hop right into it? What's one of your sleeper gems? One of your favorite little trips on the show floor, or in a random offsite hotel that you got pulled into?
Yeah, I'll do an offsite one because I think I was the only one here who saw it. Mage Seeker, which is the Riot Forge game that is a spin-off League of Legends game being made by Digital Sun, which is the Moonlighter team. If y'all remember, little 2018 roguelite called Moonlighter. They basically got given the League of Legends IP and made an action RPG top-down brawler using Silas, a character who I don't really know or like much from League of Legends, but I am very, very interested in this game specifically because the whole idea is that you are a mage who is sparking a rebellion against the state of Demacia, which likes to imprison mages. And you are kind of a brawler. You can beat things up with your fists. You can throw your chains and like pull yourself into enemies and like attack them like you're Kratos. But you can also use your chains to copy spells from enemies. And there's a whole magic system where there are elemental strengths and weaknesses, and you want to kind of capitalize on using the right magic against the right enemy. And it's really cool to have this thing that feels like it is playing in kind of that magic realm where you are paying attention to elemental strengths and weaknesses and capitalizing on what kind of spells you have and what the spells do. So one might, drop a DOT in an area, while another might throw out this freezing ice field that stops enemies in their tracks. And you're keeping track of all that while also trying to maximize on those weaknesses. And you're also trying to just dodge and punch things the whole time. It's very snappy. It surprised me with how quick it felt, but legible in the moment. It's absolutely gorgeous. The pixel art's incredible. Digital Sun is really, really good at pixel art, and it shows. And I didn't get to fight any of the league champions in this game, but I've seen some of the ones that they already have in store for the boss fights, and they have a very, very good lineup of cool characters from League of Legends that you will get to fight. I think there was a screenshot that I saw going around today of the Shyvana boss fight, and Shyvana is a character who transforms into a dragon, and it looks sick. So I'm very, very interested in seeing this one, and it's coming out real soon too. I believe April 12th is the date that it is arriving, and Eric is double checking that answer right now just to make sure he's not spreading around misinformation. April 18th is when it's coming out. April 18th.
How dare you lie on the show? We've never lied on the show once.
I know. When has that ever happened?
I've never told a lie a day in my life.
Yeah, no, it's a really cool game, and I think the whole like Riot basically saying, look, not everybody wants to play League of Legends, right? Like not everybody wants to play a MOBA. And so they're doing a thing that I kind of wish Nintendo would do more of, which is let's get a third-party studio in here to take our IP and do something really creative and fun with it. And that'll get people who maybe don't care about MOBAs still interested in our world and still interested in the things we do. It's worked really well for Riot. Ruin King was pretty cool. Arcane obviously that wasn't a game, but Arcane made huge waves for League of Legends as a media property. And I think Mage Seeker is going to be possibly their best Forge game yet. Really does feel like it. So yeah, I'm really into it. I think it's cool.
Now, my biggest question for you with that is, do you think somebody who has no League background at all could pick this game up and enjoy it?
I think so. I think some of the impact of seeing Morgana or something like that is going to be a little bit lost, because if you don't like Morgana as a character a lot, you're just going to be like, oh, who's this like kind of witch succubus lady who binds me to things and stuff?
Look, that's enough for me.
Or like Jarvan. I saw there's a clip in one of the trailers where Jarvan like launches into the battlefield and he does his ultimate where he kind of like slams the ground and a pit rises up or like sinks in or whatever. And that's like neat if you are just playing this game, but it's really cool if you are very familiar with those characters and how they work. So I don't think you'll get the same impact in some of those moments, but I do think you'll still have moments of, oh, this is just a really cool game. The story like is very legible. Demacia doesn't like mages. Silas found out he could detect magic from a young age and was kind of used to hunt those mages. But then he realized that he, has empathy and doesn't want to see people hurt. So he defends them and gets imprisoned and realizes he can copy people's magic powers and then wants to escape and incite a mage rebellion. Like it's a pretty understandable story, even if you don't know all the proper nouns going in. And their versions of certain League characters, especially like Garen, Lux, Shyvana, all look really cool. And those are characters that are pretty like I like League of Legends. I like a lot of their characters. I also think a lot of their characters are designed to be easily understandable at a glance. So like you see Jinx and you're like, okay, this is like a Harley Quinn type character, right? Like kind of kooky, uses guns and technology, vibe, big fists, punch things, very like jock mentality character. These characters are meant to be understood, like that, because that's kind of how a MOBA or a fighting game character has to operate. And so I think that lends itself well to, if you don't know this stuff going in, you can very easily grok a sense of it as you're playing.
Dwayne the Grok Johnson.
Emperor's New Grok. I don't know. Isn't that guy's name Grok? What's that guy's name in that?
Kronk.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't watch movies. Yeah, same thing.
Is the football man.
Says the dude who hosts a movie club once a month.
Whoa. Listen, the inception of the movie club was simply, hey, I don't watch a lot of movies. Let's force Brenden to watch movies. And 7 out of 10 times, it's we're watching Shrek the musical. So, like, is there really a point to it? I don't know. You tell me. I didn't watch Shrek the Musical 7 times.
That's a formative movie.
Listen, Shrek the Musical, kinda good. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was pretty good. I did enjoy it. Unfortunately, but anyways, we can move on from Shrek the Musical. We don't need to go back down that rabbit hole. But yeah, that's good to know, because that game intrigued me when I got that email sent over. I was like, oh, League maybe. And then I was like, nah, I don't have time to do this weekend. We'll see next time.
It comes out so soon that you don't really have to
soon.
Exactly.
Wait that long.
Yeah. So that's fun. I'm gonna kick it over to Mike. Mike, did you have a chance? I know you were doing a lot of networking and or working at the event, so I don't know if you had a chance to play a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Which is fine if you didn't.
Thursday was really my big play as much as I can day. Because PAX is pretty dead on Thursday. There was a lot of things that I thought were really cool. Some smaller things, and shockingly some of the bigger things too. I guess I really liked. I think it was Rift of the Necrodancer, the Crypt of the Necrodancer, which looked absolutely awesome, and it played really well. And I'm really excited to see more of that. Slay the Princess looked. I didn't actually play that because that just felt to me like the kind of game I didn't want to play on a convention floor, truthfully. It's the kind of game I do want to play at home, but it looked really cool, and I was hearing nothing but good things. Xenotilt, the Demon's Tilt sequel.
I think Eric played that.
Xenotilt looks sick.
I'll say real quick, you can play the Slay the Princess demo on Steam, so
yes,
you can check that out.
Definitely do that too. Then. But then even like bigger things like Dead Island 2, I was a huge Dead Island fan, and after whatever the hell it is, 10, 15 years of dev hell, I wasn't expecting a whole lot. But honestly, it was like, maybe it's such low expectations, but it played pretty well. Like I was pretty into it. I thought that was cool. Yeah. And Crime Boss, if you like Payday, that just, it is Payday. I don't care what 505 says. That game is Payday, but with famous celebrities from
damn, shots fired.
Yeah, I mean, look, I love that, and that was great for me. So I mean, it felt like a very small expo hall when you first walked in, but if you really walked around and took a look, there was a lot of cool stuff there to check out, to play. Yeah, I don't know if I necessarily have a game of the show. I mean, it was fun. Yeah, it's always fun to go around, talk to people, check out games that are in development. I really think the ones that really stood out though were kind of those Rift of the Necrodancer. I mean, the Cult of the Lamb expansion seemed really cool. Slay the Princess and Xenotilt, if you like pinball. I cannot wait for that. Super excited for that. So
Jesse was a big fan of Crime Boss for Arcade City. I believe he was like, this is my game of the show. Is this not?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that moment.
What?
And I remember Jesse saying he's never lied a day in his life.
That's also true. That's also fucking true. So the game of the show, actually, I hate to burst everyone's bubble, was actually the Mezzanine. That was the game of the show.
That was a much more difficult game than any game.
Yeah, it was a Souls-like.
Yeah, it was game of the show also.
No, it was a roguelike, because every morning you'd wake up and forget what happened, and you'd have to start over again.
Yes.
Oh, so like Slay the Princess, yeah.
Yeah.
You lose all your powers.
You gotta start over again.
Yep. There's no progression system.
Yeah, and the princess is 100 beers.
In a trench coat.
Princess got hands.
Yeah.
I want to give a special shout out to Toxic Crusaders, the legally distinct Toxic Avenger game.
Wait, hold on. I learned that
just a TMNT game,
just...
but with the Toxic Avenger as a character. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is Toxic Avenger.
Yeah,
I learned that by watching like Rocco from Mega 64's like vlog.
Wait.
Apparently, this was a TV show in the 90s, and nobody remembers it except for him.
Okay, hold on.
The people who made the game.
So it is a licensed thing. It's licensed from Toxic.
Yeah, it's
okay,
totally
all right.
legit. It's like yeah. It was like a kids TV show spinoff of Toxic Avenger.
Oh, so okay, gotcha. Fair. So it's legitimately Toxic Avenger. That makes sense then.
All right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, when you said that, I was like, wait a second. This is a ripoff of Toxic Avenger.
Asa in chat is saying it was a movie too.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So I think there was an NES game that I did have. I don't think I ever watched the show or watched the movie, but I definitely either had or played the NES game. There was like a side-scrolling beat 'em up. I don't think it was good, but
exactly what it looked like. So
exactly. Dan, what about you? What was some of your favorite things from this past weekend? Was it talking about anime on Thursday night with martini glasses, or?
Wait, what? I was not a part of that.
I know, but you were in earshot. You were in Shattershot.
Legally, I was not a part of that.
Or martinis.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. I mean, I feel like we're probably going to get into it a bunch, but Slay the Princess definitely was like such a huge like hit for me, especially because of the virality of people telling people what happened in their runs and comparing it and like, oh, this happened to you, oh, this happened to me. Like, how did you get from point A to point B? I think that game really did lend itself well to like a show like PAX where everyone's just talking to everyone and you know, telling stories all weekend about all the games that they played. And I think, you know, some of the like replies that the developer had to people's very nice tweets was really endearing. Because I mean, I assume they had a bunch of people coming up and just playing their game out of nowhere, but they seemed like genuinely surprised and like flattered that people were really enjoying it.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, it's like it seems super ambitious, the game, and we only had a very small portion of it, but I think, you know, the developers of that game should be like super proud to have that moment at the very least.
For sure.
You know, it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you had just kind of mentioned it, but like, no lie, anytime I talked to anyone this past week, and I was like, oh, like, what have you checked out so far? Like, something I should throw on my radar. There were plenty of games that crossed over between people, but the constant was every single person that had already played Slay the Princess brought that game up. So, like, almost everyone I talked to had name dropped that game, and I don't know, that doesn't happen often, I feel like, unless it's like a, you know, especially for like a big AAA thing. Like, sure, everyone's gonna say, you know, Zelda, you know what I mean, if Zelda was there, but like for something like this, that's, you know, a much more niche genre. It's obviously from a very small studio. I think it worked in their favor the way that they set their booth up, because like that main station, like they very could have easily just been, you know, a couple of stations, headphones on, people would be walking by that, not paying any attention. But the voice acting was so good, and the fact that they had that main station playing the game's volume loud enough that people could just stand around that main screen and watch somebody play that game and get the same sort of enjoyment out of watching that person play than actually playing it, I think worked really, really well in their favor to kind of continue to grow that, like, just word of mouth, this game is something everyone should be looking at and paying attention to. So. Yeah,
they had, I don't know how, because they were part of like PAX Rising or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like that area. Yeah. So like I don't know how it works if they get to pick their spot in that area, but they were like on the corner, so like they had a lot of real estate around them, which worked out super well for them. Like when
a lot of traffic going by too.
Yeah. I think I was one of the last people to see that game out of this group. And it was like Sunday, like late Sunday, and I walked over and I saw Finn from SGDC playing it, and Finn had decided that it was going to be a let's play with whoever was watching, and he was going to have all of them pick the choices. And like the fact that like that could just happen naturally on the show floor like that, because there were enough people gathered around watching it, and like people were shouting and cheering, and like it was like this very communal moment, like very tiny communal moment in like a very large expo hall, that like people are going to remember that. Like they're going to remember the game, they're going to remember that moment. Like it just worked out super well for them. And if their booth was like, or their station was like 3 over or in the middle more or whatever, it might not have worked out that way. And so I think everything kind of just came together around Slay the Princess, like it being a really good game, the way they set up their station, and then the fact that it was on the corner, that just like helped that game just blow up the way that it did
for sure
over the course of the weekend.
It did help too that, I mean, there was always a line there, but I think it was helpful that at least every time I walked past, every dev that was involved with that game was always actively talking to like everyone waiting around. Like they were not holding back. They were very open. They were very honest, and it was just very, I think somebody else said it, very endearing. It definitely helps recognize the game and the passion that's going into it. It definitely showed.
And you didn't have to be the one to play it. I think it's also super important. Like you watch that thing, because like all the person ostensibly at the computer was doing was clicking choices, right? Like I'm not misinterpreting the way that game works in some weird way. Like
no, you're good. Yeah.
So you can watch that thing and just completely understand front to back like what is happening, and like you're not like, oh well, I got to see how it feels, or like I didn't get a chance to really mess with the controls. Like none of that matters. None of that is a thing that you have to worry about. So people who don't even really had to wait online, they just had to watch it, and they're like, this thing looks super cool, I can't wait for this to come out. Plus it has that Steam demo that you can just go play right now. So
yeah, the number of people I saw who just watched other people play and said, this is really cool. Like I heard people walking away from that booth being like, this is so cool, I really gotta check this out. And like getting the cards that, I think I have one here or something, but like getting the cards that had like the QR code to go check out the Steam page, and they didn't wait in line. They didn't like, there were other times that weekend where there were lines of people waiting to play stuff, or semi-obscure demo stations and stuff like that. Instead, this was very much like the presentation mixed with the fact that they had this demo available off the show floor too, and it was very much like, engage with this thing how you want to engage with this thing. You can wait around to get your own turn, or you can just kind of watch somebody else play, or you don't even have to watch a full run. You can get kind of the gist and just be interested, and it sells itself so fast. It's weird that I felt like I often had trouble describing exactly why Slay the Princess is so cool, but the second somebody started watching it and seeing some of the dialogue interactions, they instantly understood. It's like, oh, it's vaguely Stanley Parable-esque. It's like a visual novel, but it's very choice driven, and it's very interactive in a way that feels really novel and really feels like an interesting exploration of this very tight, very focused pitch, which by the time this is up, I'll probably have it up. I have an interview with the creators where we talk a little bit about that, how their other game, Scarlet Hollow, is this massive sweeping horror epic that's on like part 4 of 7 right now, and it's super big and has like a really devoted fan base. But with Slay the Princess, they were like, let's take something narrow, like really focused, laser dialed in, and make it. And I think because of that, it is just so, you immediately get why it's interesting. You immediately get why it's cool, and you get drawn in by it. And the fact that, like Dan was saying, there are so many different endings, because the way it works is what you do in chapter 1 sets up what princess you get in chapter 2, like what creature, what version of the princess you run into on your second recursion of the loop. And there are so many interesting ones that I was talking to the composer who was there, and they were saying like, I haven't seen anyone get this one all day. And they were like really invested in watching the crowd's reaction to it, because they were getting to see what it was like for somebody to discover this for the first time. And there were all kinds of different interesting ways in which that twisted, whether it went the horror route, or whether it went the kind of meta narrative route, or whether it went all different directions. It's just such a cool interesting concept that I think just grabs you immediately. So yeah, Slay the Princess, like it's that Cinderella story of PAX Rising, right? It's the one where the dev shows up, has a very like seemingly unassuming game, but it just captures everyone's attention, and everyone was talking about it all weekend.
That's exactly what that kind of initiative is made for.
100%.
All of the PAX Rising games look phenomenal, by the way. I didn't get to play all of them, but they all looked really, really cool.
Yeah, there was a lot of games down there that I wish I had more time to play. It just not every day can be as barren as Thursday, unfortunately. I will say too, like Slay the Princess is like a weird anomaly which we've all kind of touched on. That game can demo so well because you can really get that experience without playing it. So it's like not every game can do that. Like some things you want to feel for yourself to really get a feel for what the game is like, where that is it shows really well in that scenario, which a lot of games, like there have definitely been games where I've played demos for, or played a slice of something, behind closed doors, and I'm like, it's probably better if I just at home, like having my chance to like, get into it and not like this rushed PAX demo or whatever it may be. But that game was the polar opposite. Cam, what about you? I feel like you have also played a lot from PAX past week.
I actually didn't play a whole lot. I played Slay the Princess going into it. I like knew about it because people in the indie space that opinions I really respect were telling me about it beforehand, and so when I found out I was going to be there with a new demo, I was like, okay, I'm definitely going to check this out. And that definitely like met expectations, and there's like some other things that I heard about just even that demo that I kind of want to check and see if it is actually a thing. Like I've heard that like just the conversation with the narrator in the beginning before you even go to the princess determines the personality of the princess, which is
yes.
Which is really interesting. So, and then I know that there's like 10 different endings, and just based off that first chapter, and so there's like there's a lot of interesting stuff that game presents just like from the get-go. And then I played Goodbye Volcano High, which I liked it. Our buddy Ken at Kotaku, he also played it, and he wasn't as felt as strongly about it as I did. And I wouldn't say I had strong feelings about it. I liked it, but it wasn't. It was basically just like kind of like the opening 15 minutes of the game, and what the pitch of that game was to me was that like, it's the last year of high school, and you're like in this band, and you have like friends, and then there's like some meteors evolved. I don't know if it's like meteors gonna hit the planet, and it's gonna be the end of the world.
It's going to kill the dinosaurs because that's how the dinosaurs go extinct.
Jeez, spoilers.
Yeah. So like high school is ending, so it's like the end of
spoiler,
that world,
the plot of the game,
but also like the end of the literal world. It's like a good,
I heard that the meteor is not a metaphor.
Oh yeah, no, they're actually gonna fucking die. So
and it's just one of those things where it's cool because like a lot of, like I think like the entire cast is like in some way a part of the LGBTQ plus community, which is cool. And like the premise that I was told is that like you kind of like get to choose how you want to invest your time into the story. It's kind of like it's a choose your own adventure, but I didn't really get any of that opportunity in the demo. So it was really just kind of like an introduction to the characters and an introduction to some of the gameplay mechanics, because there's like there's some rhythm based stuff. There's a point where you can design the logo for your band and things like that, but it wasn't a great section of the game to demo off. But when it comes to choose your own adventure games, I really don't think there are good there's that's just a genre that's really hard to demo off and get the full meaning across of what this game is trying to do.
Because you either get the you either get to make the choices but not see the payoff, or you get the payoff for choices you didn't make. Is kind of like the way that those vertical slices end up.
Yeah, exactly. But it like it definitely like felt unfinished in when it came to like the animation and tactical the technical aspects, and which is interesting because this game's supposed to come out in like middle of June. I'm curious to see, and like the build that they had was like a week before the event. Like I think it was like dated from March 18th. I don't know if that's what Ken told me. I don't know if that's completely correct. So I don't want to like give out completely false information, but it definitely felt like that there was some like work specifically in the animations that weren't finished. Like when there were like fully done cutscenes, it looked really, really good. But then there were like some interactions where like there were and it is very well voice acted, but then like the model will like not move or animate at all, and it does, and it didn't do. And if that was like the goal, like, oh, there's going to be parts where it is fully animated and then some where it's going to be like static models, the game did not do a good job in like showing that transition, that like, hey, we're in like a different kind of like conversation now where the models aren't going to be animated. So you know, I don't know what the case was there, but you know, I'm looking forward to it. Like, you know, it is one of the indie games that I know that's coming out this year that I am interested in trying out. I know some people said that they had some issues with the rhythm stuff, like that it was that wasn't calibrated correctly or something like that, but I didn't really have that problem. So I can't really speak for others, but I had no issues with that. And then I also played Trinity Trigger, which is like this new, it's like this new game that Xseed is publishing. And it's more or less like, and you know, it's not, I don't know if I don't think Xseed owns the IP, but it was developed by the same team that made Monarch, which was kind of like their take on Persona, like, but it had like more tactics gameplay. And both me and Eric reviewed that game, so and we were pretty mild on it. And this is basically
one way of putting it.
Yeah. I'm trying, you know, like we gave it like 6s, right? Like that's like not terrible.
I gave it like a 6.
Yeah.
It survived. It certainly functioned as a video game, and gave me mild moments of enjoyment when I wasn't grinding the same level for 10 hours at a time. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. No, exactly. No. I again, like it's, you know, it's 6 out of 10. Like it's not like it was like a 3 out of 10 is what I'm trying to say.
Like Crime Boss.
Yeah, like Crime Boss.
Wow.
And
damn, no 505 booth and we just shit all over him, huh?
I'm just shouting the Game Informer score out. I'm not saying anything else.
Okay. Let me just text Luis real quick.
It's more or less their take on the Mana series. So it's like 3 characters, and it's can be done through local co-op. Like you can have 3 people on a couch, and you like,
oh, that's pretty cool.
One can be assigned each character. Yeah,
that's
which
neat.
that is cool. And it's, you know, it's a little, you know, a little JRPG. I mean, I wouldn't say little. You know, it's like, I think the guy said that it took him like 25 to 35 hours to beat it. So it's, you know, it's a good like JRPG length. Visually does not look great on the Switch. Docked does not look great on the Switch. And it is also going to be on PS5 and PS4. So like, if you know,
that's the way to play it.
if you really care about that, like it's the way the artistic direction of that game. It's not like I'm expecting it to look great, but I'm just saying that it does not look great visually on the Switch. And it's the combat is like you know, it's based on stamina, so you'll just do your normal like combos, and each character is assigned to a specific, like is proficient in a specific weapon, but throughout the game you're trying to get all the other weapons for the 3 characters, so that like when you get to certain bosses that are weak against a certain weapon, like everyone can use the same weapon. And then like over time their weapons will glow, and you can do like a kind of like a super attack of sorts, and then they also have like this bar that fills up on the side of their character portrait, and then it just like they deal just general more damage over time for that time that it's activated. It's a nice little JRPG. Like, it's definitely not something that I'm like, oh, I need to play this right when it comes out, because it does come out soon. I think it comes out in like 3 or 4 weeks. But it's not something that I'm gonna like immediately try and get my hands on. But I can definitely see myself playing it somewhere down the line when I'm looking for something on the Switch to play that's a JRPG. I'm trying to think about what else I played. I've played Rift of the Necrodancer. I played that at PAX West, and I really enjoyed that. I know that Mina the Hollower got an updated build, but I played it
was
at West.
good.
Yeah, I heard it was really good, but I just like
you should have came with me. Mina the Hollower, I'll slide right in. That's probably my game of the show.
Really?
Personally, I mean, listen. Yacht Club puts out a game, I play it. Like, it's hard for me to not play a Yacht Club game. I don't think I've ever played a Yacht Club game that I haven't enjoyed. Like the Treasure Trove suite of games are masterpieces in my opinion. I mean, Jesse has takes, but Dig and Pocket Dungeon are also great, serve different purposes, but I really enjoyed those. Cyber Shadow. Dig is fun. I like Dig.
I really need to play it.
Yeah, it is a good time. Cyber Shadow, which is like it's published by Yacht Club, but it's made by a single person. Mecha Skull, I think, is the name of that studio. But they did help on certain parts of it, but it is mostly made by Mecha Skull. I like Cyber Shadow, but it's different than.
It's solid.
I liked it.
I liked it. Yeah.
But Mina. Let me tell you,
good. Yeah.
Mina had the impossible task for me personally of I'm gonna build this shit up way too high in my head. Like, I'm going in here like it's new Yacht Club game. It's not a Shovel Knight game. It's something new. It's top down GBA like Zelda like, which is like top down Zelda. Some of my favorite games. Like, I fucking spent too much time in my childhood playing Link's Awakening. Love the Oracle games. Like, that is my jam right there. So a lot of things up against this for me to walk away being underwhelmed by this game, and it somehow left me jaw on the floor. Like, couldn't be happier. Spent a lot of extra time with Waz in there playing through that. We turned that demo timer off and we're in there for a long time. Like, I was looking for every secret. I was having a blast in there. And at first, it's weird because at first, I think I was struggling with the combat. I was like, damn, I'm like embarrassing myself right now. I'm like dying a lot and whatever.
Oh, I died so much in that demo.
But
like, I died so many times.
There was
I was just trying to just the clock. I just kept dying so much.
There was a point where all of a sudden, specifically the burrowing clicked. And I was just zipping around like areas, like diving under the ground, popping up, attacking. Like, I got into this weird flow state where, to the point where it was like I was clearly struggling with certain enemies in certain areas for a little bit, and then Waz was like, "Oh, you have turned it on. Like, you are in that flow state. You're just like zipping between." Like, I had died and it was a far checkpoint, and I like very quickly got back to where I was. But that game, just once you get comfortable with it, felt so good, and there was so much just poured in there. I mean, I think what Yacht Club does probably the best, in my opinion, compared to any other developer that tries to make these types of games, is that you can see the point of reference to not just like very clearly at a far glance. If you look at this game, okay, it looks like a top-down Game Boy game. You can see that point of reference. There might be certain things that make you think of Zelda, or maybe think, The Chain. A lot of people immediately go Castlevania, like stuff like that. But there are so many little things in there that, like, there was one of the puzzles in the demo was like moving a stone head, and when you pick that stone head up, that other ghost thing comes out and starts chasing you, and immediately in my head I'm like, Super Mario Bros. 2. Like. That would keep happening all the time, but not to the point where it feels like this is just the homage machine, and I'm enjoying this because of I notice reference and I feel this influence and blah blah blah. I feel like they code it very well. Of like, yeah, you might make that reference, you might make that connection. That might be what it's making you feel. Maybe that's why we did it. Maybe that's not. But it just never felt cheap. It always feels like it is just they are referencing things probably, and if you've played these old games, you're noticing it. But there's so much more there than those references, and I think they do a lot with that stuff. It's
right,
really
and all
good.
of that stuff like fits into the world that they were building.
Exactly.
It's not like it's not like you have the Mario 2 like logs also. Like that
yes,
would be
yeah,
too on the nose.
yes, 100%. They do a very good job of like pulling these references, pulling this inspiration, but doing their own thing completely over on top of it, and I always really appreciate it. So it somehow lived up to that expectation. And I don't know if any of you in your demo discovered the hidden side quest, but there was a hidden side quest in the demo that like there were multiple different, like you had to interact with a certain character if you found them in an early part of the stage, and then you had to keep finding them later throughout the stage. And if you completed that quest line that the game never points you towards, never like makes a hint that it's a side quest or anything, but if you do that, you end up running into like a special boss, which I don't know. They made it seem like there are going to be a lot of things like that in the game where the game's not going to force you to do that stuff. It's not going to push you in that direction, but there are going to be rewards for people who like to look for secrets and find those things. And I think that's one of the big things that they're doing differently from Shovel Knight, where it's like Shovel Knight had little hub areas, little towns and stuff with shops and this and that, whereas all that stuff is going to kind of be living in the world of Mina and kind of be like always accessible in different areas. So I'm really looking forward to that game. I hope that this demo, now here's part 2 of will it live up to the hype for me. This demo pleased me and delighted me so much. I really hope that the rest of the game lives up to that, because that's the next tall task for me personally. We've all, a couple of us have brought it up, and I'll just quickly say Rift the Necrodancer also very fucking good. Like immediately when I got home Sunday night, when I laid in bed, actually not Sunday I passed the fuck out. Monday night when I was laying in bed, I was like, you know what? Tonight's a Crypt night, and I went right back to Crypt the Necrodancer, and I wish there was a demo for Rift on Steam, because I would absolutely be playing that right now.
Yeah, I really want to play. I want to play that harder, because I demoed it behind closed doors, and after I finished the initial like Rift rhythm or whatever, the one that has the lanes coming down, I was like, do y'all have a harder version of this? And they were like, yeah, we do. They bumped it up a difficulty level, and I was glad I did that, because it immediately they introduced a new mechanic in that harder difficulty right away off the bat, that they let it surprise me just to see my reaction. And I was immediately like, I failed out after a couple lines, and I was like, let's go again. And they were like, no, we got other stuff we got to show you in this demo. And I was like, no, but come on, just let me run it more. Yeah. Surefire sign that your rhythm game is working, is clicking. I'm very eager to see that thing.
Yeah, I think that has the potential to be something real special.
I don't know if they mentioned it to y'all during your demos, but when I played at PAX West, they said that one of their big goals for that game is to have it played on DancePad, and I think that's so fucking cool.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, like that's something that they are really
I can definitely believe it.
like pushing to do is to like, I don't know if they're gonna make their own DancePad or if they're gonna have a company like make it for them, but I think that's like something that they're working on.
Interesting.
Gonna work with Mad Cats. I would love that. Honestly, that's the kind of game that would honestly fit perfectly for a dance pad. And playing it too, it's like it made me very nostalgic for the days of like Rock Band and Guitar Hero. And like I do, not that there's not other rhythm games, obviously there are, but like it hit an itch that I felt had not been. It's been waiting to be scratched, and I was very, very pleased with it, and I'm really looking forward to that. It's a really cool game.
Amplitude meets Rhythm Heaven in a weird way, like a weird combination of those two things, and then like Punch Out gets in there somehow.
Listen, the long-term play is Nintendo buy Brace Yourself Games and let them make Rhythm Heaven. That's the long-term play right there.
That look Yes. Yes. A
Nah,
million
elite
times,
beat
yes.
agents.
That too,
Ooh,
bring it
That too,
back.
yeah. Let them make
Ooh.
it all. Let them make it all.
I almost bought a $25 copy of Trauma Center Under the Knife when I was at PAX, and I kind of regret that I didn't, because now I'm
That was a
sitting here and I'm
great
like,
game.
I could have been playing Trauma Center Under the Knife right now.
That was an awesome game.
I love Trauma Center. Underrated series.
Very underrated.
Jesse, do you want to talk about the game that you and I saw together? Because that might be my game of the show.
Are you the host
Ooh.
now?
I don't know.
I like it. I like
took the
put
mic.
the pants on. Listen, I'm gonna crack my
This-
beer. This
this
is
was
real
my-
mezzanine hours, okay?
This was my podcast host sense kicking in. All right, this was me being like, okay, time to move the conversation on to the next subject matter.
Okay, well, I have two things I want to talk about briefly.
Okay.
We'll get to the you and I thing second, because the
Okay.
first thing's quick.
Okay.
And that's only because I didn't play a lot of games this time around. Like, I played 4 games at PAX, because
Hell yeah.
PAX this year
All
for me
Dead
was
Island
like
2.
the people. It was seeing All Dead Island 2. Oops, All Dead Island 2s. PAX was like to see people this year. It was to hang out with friends. It was to connect with folks I haven't gotten to connect with either in a long time, at all, in person, or for the first time, you know? And
It's
so
like we said, Jesse. The mezzanine is the true game of the show. But continue.
yeah, and so I spent a lot of my time like talking to folks and like meeting up with friends for lunch and doing other things. But during the media hour of PAX East 2023, a bunch of us waited online at the Pokemon TCG lab to get the Sprigatito pin that Brenden is showing right now. But I do want to shout out. Dan's got it on deck too.
Yes.
Mine's somewhere on the other side of my room. I still haven't unpacked. My suitcase is still like a mess. But I want to shout out that booth just for like a quick second, because I think what they're doing there is like really interesting. It's basically designed to teach you how to play the card game, but the card game's not super difficult to learn, especially when you're looking at like other card games like Magic or something that like have so many systems in them. But the way they're doing the TCG lab is sort of like, you're going to sit down with either a friend or a random person, and they're going to like take you through a bunch of like weird mini games they've made with the cards. Like, it's like, okay, there's going to be a bunch of Pokemon up front, like in a line, and you and your opponent are going to take turns putting an energy on each Pokemon and try to capture it by attaching the correct amount of energy required on the card. So it teaches you, okay, you need 2 dark energies and a water energy, and then you get the Pokemon. Then once you've done that stage of it, then it's like, okay, now we're going to teach you how to battle, but you're only going to have these 3 Pokemon. So we're going to teach you how to play bench Pokemon and how to swap out and retreat and how to do just the battle mechanics. So like, they've taught you how to attach energies, and then in the next game they teach you how to battle, and then in the third phase you just play a normal match, but you already have like a basic understanding of how things work. So all they're doing at that point is introducing prize cards and like trainer support cards, and you suddenly like understand how to play the Pokemon TCG in a very controlled environment. And I just think that's super neat for people that like maybe want to play and don't know where to start. And then when you finish up the demo, you got the pin, but you also got like a pre-made starter deck, like 30 card starter deck with a full art. You had a choice between Umbreon, Lucario, and Machamp? No. Who was the third? It was
Greninja.
Lucario.
Wait.
It was a Greninja?
Greninja,
Maybe.
yeah.
It was
I
a
don't
water.
know.
It was a water type.
Greninja,
Yeah, and so just like a really neat booth that was cool and like taught people how to play the card game. And I would not have stopped that if it wasn't for the pin and like potentially an exclusive promo, because we all collect Pokemon cards like sickos. But I was really happy I went there. I thought it was super cool. The booth was super nice. They were all wearing lab coats. I tried to buy one of them off one of the employees and they wouldn't let me. Yeah, just a cool booth. But then, oh no, you go.
I was just saying, I agree with you.
I
Like,
wanted to-
I didn't play Pokemon cards. I haven't played the card game since I was a young whippersnapper.
young lad.
But that
Young
made me
buck.
that made me very emotional, and I was like, I would play this game again. Like I would play this if Jesse was like, I'm building a deck. I'd be like, fuck it, I'll build a deck too. Like I would play that. Like that was a very, the way, like everything you said, the way they constructed that booth was very smart.
And so that was like the very first thing I did at PAX. And then the other game I'm going to talk about is the very last game I played at PAX, which Eric came to me for my demo because it was one of the 4 appointments I had. And we played Demonschool by Necrodancer. And I'm like reluctant to call this like a sleeper gem or hit or whatever, because like I think this is like at this point like pretty well known amongst circles. Like the PRs for it's been like pretty good. It's shown up in a couple showcases. Like it's like Persona and SMT and Tactics and all of these things kind of rolled into one. It's got really, really good art. Like the art, I think in Demonschool is like top notch. And there were 2 demos. I only played the story demo. There was a story demo and a boss demo. And I am not a tactics person. I just generally don't enjoy tactics games. There's like too much going on for me. But the combat in this game is like very simple. Like it's kind of, it feels like it has a high skill ceiling, right? Where it's like easy to learn, hard to master.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of the way this game operates in its combat is it's on like a grid, and your characters have an attack that they do when you move them onto another enemy. So if there's enemies on the board, you move your character to that enemy and they will do their attack. And the way you can combo those together is really interesting. So you'll have like one character where their like ability is that when they attack an enemy, they will swap places with it. So you will put the enemy like one tile forward or one tile to the side or whatever, which means if you attack with them first, you might be able to get an enemy that was previously out of range into range, and then you can do like cool combo attacks. And then you have a person who can like use their turn to either heal your teammate or give them an attack buff, so you can like attack buff a teammate, have them go and reposition the enemy, and then use your third teammate to like come in and do some extra damage. And they have like really unique unique like team up animations when they do like a combo where you're kind of bumping an enemy around the board like it's a pinball. And yeah, so each character kind of fills a unique role, and sort of as the demo went on, you unlocked like special abilities that had unique properties to them, where it's like this one character, when it builds up its special meter, it will attack everything within a straight line. So if there are 3 enemies lined up, use your special, you'll hit all 3 of them. But if there's 2 enemies in a line and one's next to them, you can use that character to reposition the enemy, get all 3 of them in a line, and then attack them. And the thing it does that I think all good tactics games do, like Into the Breach, for instance, is it gives you perfect information. So it will tell you exactly what every enemy on the board is going to do. So you have all of the information in front of you. It is just about parsing that information and figuring out. It's solving a puzzle. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, there is a way to do this that either I take no damage and deal maximum damage, or I mitigate as much damage as possible and I still do damage. And so it becomes this game of like, and there's also an undo button, which like every game should have ever. If I fuck something up, I should be able to undo it like before the actual attack stuff starts happening. Mm-hmm. And so you can kind of play around pretty hardcore in terms of like, oh, do I think this is going to work? No, let me like undo it. And then like try to like rearrange the pieces again and keep going and going and going. To the point where it's really just one button commands, and you're just kind of seeing how everything works, as opposed to being like opening up a menu and being like, there's 12 different spells I could use at this particular moment. Which is the best one? This one kind of does. There's less tinkering in terms of menus and more just like, all right, let's move these pieces. I like the way this looks. Hit go and let it kind of all go. Then it's like, oh, that didn't work out super well. Next time I know that I can do that better. So I really like the combat in it. Story, didn't see a ton of it, but there was a side quest where one of the characters learned that he'd been drinking milk wrong his entire life.
Spoiled milk.
He thought it was supposed to be warm and chunky. And then they give him cold milk, and he's like, why is this sweet and cold? This is wrong.
He doesn't want the smooth milk. He wants the chunky milk. Yeah.
Milk heavy.
He's got the right idea.
Yeah. Milk with the fiber in it. No, I agree with everything Jesse said. I like sat in on that appointment and just kind of watched him play through it, because I'd already played both demos previously and just wanted to like refresh myself. And I think, like Jesse said, one of the best things it does is it gives you that ability to kind of map out your turn and then execute it, much like Into the Breach does, where you get even more undos. There's no limit. You just kind of like make your turn and decide like, okay, this is what I want my turn to be. You execute it, and then the enemy executes theirs, and you go on to the next one. It has this like Valkyria Chronicles style system where every character eats up like 1 pip of action, and you have like a certain number of pips you can use. But then every time you want a character to act again, okay, now it's going to cost you 2. Okay, you want them to go again, that's 3, and that's going to eat up like a lot of your available actions. So it does so many smart things to encourage you to practice best practices, to do things that, okay, I am utilizing all my characters, I'm constantly positioning all of them, I'm paying attention to where they are standing, I'm maximizing my damage whenever possible, and it just feels like it's kind of almost made to be a very legible tactics game for people who don't like tactics, which is really exciting. I think that's really cool because like we are in the era of tactics. So many games are making are going for a tactics feel, but even stuff like Midnight Suns can feel kind of unapproachable at times, and especially you get into like Tactics Ogre, and that's very dense. I love Tactics Ogre, but it's like a very dense game to get into.
It's for the
Even
spreadsheet sickos.
yeah, it's for us, and even for me, who loves that stuff. It's like a very intimidating game to process. Whereas Demonschool felt very almost casual, like I could kind of just hop in and do some stuff. Yeah. I will also shout out that I think the art style they're going for is very interesting, because I do think the immediate touchstone would be something like Persona, because it has just a very sharp style. It has the kind of cut-ins when you do combos and things like that, but it's also drawing on Junji Ito manga. It's drawing on 60s Italian horror for some of its like grosser effects and stuff. It's drawing on an era that it's set in the late 90s, I believe. So shout outs, first of all, this is a demon school, but it's a demon university. So
college.
all of them are college aged. We're not getting into weird Persona shit here. And they deal with like college. Yeah, they deal with college problems, but it's also like late 90s where there's still net cafes, there's payphones. Like cell phones exist, but they're a rarity because of how expensive they are. It's a really interesting time to set all of this, because it doesn't just give them cool narrative complications where they're like, oh, we need to go for help. Why don't you use a cell phone? I don't have a cell phone. That shit's expensive. Like I used all my money on trading cards last week or whatever. But it also just gives it this feel that's very different, feels very analog in a way that's fun. Kind of like Persona 4 had that feeling of all of its technology was very analog and not plugged into the modern world the way that like Persona 5 is. But yeah, just it's a really cool, unique, interesting game that I have been thinking about constantly since we played it, and I really can't wait to see what that full thing looks like.
And shout out to the booth that they had.
The booth is one of the best
like
I've seen in a while.
classroom.
Yeah,
that was awesome. They had a CRT and everything.
The CRT on the substitute teacher
With
card.
the
Yeah.
And they had the desks that were like the chair attached to the desks, like high school shit. Like, yeah, it was real good.
Yeah, that was the last thing I was gonna add was the booth, because that was also like one of our best of show. I love that game, and that booth was
chairs to crack your back on.
Phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
Back on the desk, crack your back.
Oh, I felt that one just now. Ooh.
Does anyone have anything else about PAX they wanna talk about? Because we are getting close to that point.
I know we're at the end here, but I have one thing that I just want to ask you all about, just because we were, I think, all there. Thoughts about it's also the stream image, I believe. Thoughts on Final Fantasy?
On 16?
I'll quickly say this, since I think I might be the one that is the furthest removed from Final Fantasy 16. I have had almost no excitement for that game. Like the setting, like all of it didn't really look like my jam, like not my favorite type of setting for a Final Fantasy game. But after we went to the main theater panel and got to listen to that conversation and see some more of the game, I think I'm fucking in. I think I'm fucking excited for this fucking game. Like I'm fucking in, because I think one of the other big things for me that was pushing me away was I don't personally care about the icon stuff. Like it was not like big Giga battles was like cool, but like it just typically Final Fantasy are not necessarily like my personal gameplay pull. Like it's not hooking me into any game. But I think from what they were showing in that deeper dive, it looks like something. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a big focus, but it's there and it's kind of cool at the same time. So
it's interesting because so I do also want to shout out while we're here. I got to see my dad twice. I got to see Yoshi P at the 14 panel and at the 16 panel. 14 panel, stellar.
I forgot 14 was there, yeah.
just a 10-year like Q&A over the course of the game's life and talking about moments throughout the game, and some of Yoshi P's favorite stuff. It was actually a really, really nice panel. But the 16 panel, I was worried because they started it and it's like a lot of regurgitation of like basically the presentation they gave us during the media tour. And I was like, oh no, I'm just sitting through this presentation again. Oh no, they got me. And then they very quickly were like, no, we want to address some of the criticisms from the media tour and from the things that people were saying online, both the media, but also just like people who saw the footage that we put out. Like, why is this game so dark? And it's like, here is a super bright area that we are playing right now. Here's me moving the joystick and the character doing like a funny little dance. Here's a wide open area. Here's a town. Here's some light RPG elements. We're going to talk more about those in the coming months, but like, here's the blacksmith and the armorer, and here's the Aretha stone that's going to where you do the arcade mode and some of the other stuff. And then they showed off Typhon. Like, I think the last time Typhon was in a Final Fantasy game was like 6.
Oh,
they're like, oh, here's Typhon. And I'm like,
yeah.
Whoa.
Well,
okay.
That's the vibe they're going for.
Yeah. But it was just super nice to like see them address a lot of the stuff, but then also like just play the game. They showed off the load times. They were like, here, we're going to fast travel. And it was like 4 seconds. And I was like, seemed a little long for the way you were bragging about it, but like, I'll take it. It's good. And it was just nice to see them show the game, like just play the game. And like Eric and I got hands-on with that game 2 months ago, last month or whatever. And that game feels good. But what they did show, which they wouldn't let us see at the media tour, was the 60 FPS mode. We got to see.
Oh, they showed the performance mode? Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Because when we were at the media tour, they were like, we're working on it. We hope to have it at launch. We should, but you're going to play 30 FPS mode, and the motion blur is going to be cranked all the way up. And it like almost made me sick.
Yeah, I want 60 FPS, no motion blur.
Yeah, to see the performance mode in action was very nice. Mm-hmm. Very, very nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in the minority. I'm cautiously optimistic, but I don't think it sold the game in the way I was hoping they would. A lot of the things they covered were criticisms. Sure, I get that, but like you said, it was like, why is the whole game dark? Like that to me, that's such a stupid thing. The whole game's obviously not going to be pitch black and at a level at night. Like they're building a Final Fantasy game. It's going to be a massive game. Right. Yeah. And so I guess it was an excuse for them to show off some of the game, but I don't know. Something about it, like, and they kept touting the powers of PS5 and yada yada yada. We know it's going to be an exclusive, whatever, fine. But like you said, the load times were like 4 seconds for fast travel. Like that's fine. I don't know. It doesn't seem, it's not as fast as you're like bragging about. Like, okay.
Yeah, that was the only weird part where I was like, huh, okay.
I mean, it's better. It's better than let me shimmy between a fucking.
Oh, it does
building.
have shimmy.
It has shimmying. It does have shimmying.
Okay,
right. Yeah.
There was a lot too, though. Like, and don't get me wrong, it's a very pretty game. It's a very the visual effects and the models and the textures. It all looks fantastic. Don't get me wrong. But I noticed while they're walking through, it's like you see the very static animations of somebody who's at the market, and they're just playing the same animation on loop, talking to a vendor, and like I don't know. To me, I love Final Fantasy games, but it didn't necessarily feel like the huge leap I guess I was expecting. It still looks great and I still want to play it. I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic.
I think what really sold me on it was the constant loop of Torgal in the Weston lobby. That I really feel like I've been Stockholm syndromed into loving that dog, and I need to protect it with my life.
Pavlov's Torgal.
Yeah.
Pavlov's
Weird
Torgal.
that they put such an emphasis on Torgal like this time around, because like they obviously had Torgal in the Weston, and then like the name of the panel was like, yes, you can pet the Torgal. Yeah. And it's like during what we played, they were like, yeah, Torgal's just relegated to the D-pad, like play with it or don't, like it doesn't matter to us. Like
you can
so
flip
like
an option
whatever
to have it do whatever. Like
you don't have to think it was about it. Such a just like, yeah, it's there, it's a companion you can like mess around with. And at PAX they were like, no, Torgal is the thing.
They understood. They knew. They got it.
Trying to get the normies.
Yeah.
Didn't Yoshi P have the Torgal plush?
Look, Stray got Game of the Year nominations, and it worked for Stray. So maybe they're just really going for that Stray marketing push.
Play it up. People love dogs for some reason.
Whoa!
Oh, whoops! That slipped. The cat propaganda slipped out. I'm sorry. Anything else before we hit that button?
There was some like first-person shooter I played with Moises. If he's still in
Was it
chat,
the
maybe he
card
can
one?
help
Was
me
it
out
the
with
card
name.
one?
Born
Was it
of
what?
Bread. Born of Bread is also sick. I just want to say Born of Bread is really
Was
good.
it the Office one?
Or was it the card
No,
one?
it was the
Oh.
multiplayer shooter with the cards.
With the cards,
Oh,
friend of friend?
Friends
Friend
versus
versus friends,
Friends
yes.
versus Friends.
Oh,
yeah.
that did look really cool and fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I liked that there were so many places that had like couch co-op and couch multiplayer set up. Or I guess they were set up on two different screens, but still, like that was a fun thing to do at the event.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't get the chance to play it, but I watched Alex and Mike play it, and they seemed to have enjoyed their time with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think for me. Oh no, you go.
No, I mean, it just, it is like a very silly shooter, but with good vibes. And even if it's like, not like I was having troubles with the controls and stuff, like I would have definitely set things up differently. But like even without that, like it had so much character to it, and the cards were a lot of fun. Yeah, it was a good game.
Yeah. That's just the vibes of PAX to me. Like being able to just like pick up a game with a friend.
Yeah.
Play each other like the way we played Street Fighter 6 all weekend. Like we just went to different booths that had Street Fighter 6 and just like played each other because it was like
Street Fighter 6
the
is
thing.
really good.
The thing to do. That's like what makes PAX such a fun place. Is like we all like the same stuff. Like sure we all have different tastes in games, but like the fact that like the immediacy of just like being able to walk up somewhere, sit on a couch, whatever, play each other in a game, have a good time, just like share in each other's company. Which is like what PAX has always been to me, is just like a chance to be able to see y'all and hang out with y'all and do dumb shit.
Hell yeah.
Play games.
Yeah, we do actually joke about it, but the mezzanine was the true game of PAX, because the reality is like it's the heart of PAX, at least to me, is just the friendships and the gathering and the hanging out, because the reality is I don't see y'all that much, maybe once or twice a year, and so it's really, really awesome to just get together for 4 days of just debauchery, for lack of a better term, and not sleeping and just having fun and hanging out and playing games. And it's just that is the heart and soul of PAX, and I love it, and I love you guys, and it was a really great time, and was really happy to see y'all.
Yeah, I mean, I share the same sentiments. Like, everything else is great. Show floor is fun. Talking to indie devs, great. Blah blah blah. But like waiting for that time where it's like, when are we going upstairs? When are we gonna all be in the same area again together? Because like we see each other throughout the day, like passing. Oh, we're in the Western lobby, taking a break, getting a coffee, like in between appointments, all this stuff, and those things are great too. Like I remember the first year that I met Jesse, like there were a few different times we like ended up in the West End lobby to have lunch, and it was like, oh, let's get Tasty Burger, like whatever. Like just those moments are like some of the moments that we'll always remember. It's like those slices and less of the on the floor, quote unquote work stuff, and more of the these are the people. These are the reason why we're here. But I think it has come to that point where Cam. Don't look at the camera. Don't look at the camera, Cam.
No, Cam and I were using it last night. We were trying to help him get out of a hole he was in an Emerald.
Yeah, no, we found out that guide sucks. So like,
that guy does
really?
suck.
Damn.
Yeah.
That you hate to see it.
Time for a rewrite, Jeff.
Who wrote that? Put him on blast.
Yeah, who did write that? Is it
Do they even include bylines like in these
There's
back in
one
the
way
day?
to find out.
I'm looking.
Probably
It's
not.
just all
Written
Brenden.
by Nintendo.
Elizabeth Hollinger.
Damn.
Oh shit.
I can't believe you would do that, Jesse. What a jerk. Absolute jerk.
putting Elizabeth on blast like that.
So if you're a regular listener to the show, you know that we end every episode with a game of some sort. But before we get into that, I want to give all of these lovely guests a moment to plug themselves, plug whatever they want to plug social work, whatever they want to do. This is a damn. All right, fine, Eric, whatever.
Wow.
Eric, it completely left the call, so something tells me computer got turned off.
Turned his computer off.
100%. He's gonna have to speed run to get back on for the game. So we'll just kick it in order. So Cam, if you want to plug whatever you want to plug, the floor is yours, my good friend.
Yeah, I'm gonna have some previews up on IGN probably next week. I got Yeah, there was a GameCube panel that's going to be on.
I think that's already up.
I think that's up. It's on
Yeah.
Left Behind Game Club or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. There's that. I should know that, but I don't. And then I was on a vinyl panel with Jesse, but that was only in person. So if you missed out, you missed out.
Yeah.
And,
Had to be there.
And then I was on a video game music panel for Lukewarm Games, where I preached the good word of The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, as I did throughout all of PAX.
I can't believe this is the first time you brought that series up. We're not going to harp on it, but I can't believe it took until now to do that. Can you plug your other project or no? I guess I don't know if it matters at this point of the game, but Kingdom Hearts.
Unlocking Kingdom Hearts.
I mean, you can plug that too, but never mind.
Oh yeah, the other thing, it's not. We're not.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Not yet. Yeah. Unlocking Kingdom Hearts podcast. If you want to get into Kingdom Hearts, this is a good podcast to like kind of learn what makes that series great, and we should be releasing our next episode soon. We have waited a long time since the last episode, and originally I did say it was going to be when they're ready, but this is definitely not as long as I originally wanted it to get episodes out. But that's coming out soon, so keep an eye out for that. And then I'm on Twitter at CamFinalMix.
American.
And I got tickets to see twice, and I'm very, very excited.
Hell yeah.
That
was an event.
I gave him my Wi-Fi information.
That was the Wednesday night,
did.
Or Wednesday day. Yeah. Todd just texted me, "Yo, you want me to get you some broccoli?" What does that mean? What does
broccoli!
That mean?
I love Naruto.
No Blue Lock tonight. I can't believe this wasn't a Blue Lock podcast. This is ridiculous.
I was gonna plug Blue Lock at the end. You totally you ruined it.
I'm sorry.
Also, I want Kelly's roast beef really bad.
Listen, no offense to Kelly's roast beef. It was my first beef when I was a young lad, and it's fine. It's a serviceable beef. Next year, I'm gonna get you a real beef. Not that it's not a real beef, but I'm gonna get you a much better beef.
There's an even better one.
There are many better beefs than Kelly's. Like when I tweeted out that I had got Kelly's for y'all, I had to preface that tweet very specifically because people who live here saw if I didn't write that the way I wrote it, they'd be like, "This motherfucker brought these people to Kelly's. The fuck is he doing?" Kelly's is like the where beef originated. It's like the original beef, but it's not the best beef. Far from the best beef. But Jesse, what about yourself, my young sir?
You can follow me on Twitter at Jesse Vitelli. If you made it to Young Elmo, you found the right place.
Hell yeah.
You can find my writing at primagames.com. I will have 0 PAX previews up because I was not there for work. So if you're looking for PAX stuff, there's plenty of other places to go find it. You're not going to find it by me. I was on an episode of Voicemail Dump Truck today on Giant Bomb. If you want to go check that out, that was a good time. We talked about the Mount Rushmore of ska. If you want to know who Michael Hyam and I put up on the Mount Rushmore of ska, you can go find that out.
Was there a Fortnite drop in there? Did anyone bring up Alien or no?
No.
Damn. Fake
no,
fans.
we had to talk about the real one. The reels.
Okay.
Like Mustard Plug.
Real Big Fish.
Real Big Fish did not make Mount Rushmore, I'll tell you that.
Streetlight?
What's up?
Streetlight?
Streetlight was number 1.
Fuck yeah.
All right.
Question: Where you said that where we can get your words and stuff, but where can we get your bars, Young Elmo?
Young Elmo. You can find my bars on SoundCloud at Do Not Contact Me. Also, there was a video game trivia panel at PAX, and that will be up, I think, sometime next week. I think Jacob said. So if you follow me on Twitter, I will share that when it happens.
Hell yeah!
But until then, do not contact me.
We're gonna have to go for the Triple Crown, Jesse. Everywhere that there's a video game trivia panel, we're gonna have to team up and form a Voltron and take that dough.
I mean, remember, I won the PAX.
We need to have a showdown between us now.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
And,
however,
and Roxley will say it herself because she said it then. I carried the team. So it's like one of those things where like it was basically just me.
I was filling in for Rox.
So you're trying
Rox
to say
was supposed to be on that panel, and I ended up being on it.
I know. I was like, wait, why was Roxley replaced? I guess she wasn't able to come or something like that.
Damn.
I do very quickly want to say though, not to hold this up, but after the panel, my ring fell behind the stage, and we held up the following panel for like 15 minutes while we had to try and get it because it was an expensive ring and I wasn't about to just ditch it. And so the enforcers had to call someone, and Brenden took his shirt off to try and climb underneath the stage. But there were all the like bars from the platform. And then some other guy came and said, do you see this badge? This means that it's my fault. And then he crawled under and got it. And Jacob gave me a tripod, and I was trying to like get it in there and like get the ring. It was a whole process, but we got it back. We survived. It's here. We got it.
Hell yeah.
Damn.
Hell yeah.
Damn.
We made it.
You asked where Jesse's bars were. They were under the stage that we had the panel on. That's where Jesse's bars were. Dan, how about yourself? Or if you don't want
social...
people, yeah, I mean,
I'm on Twitter, but like I'm private, and I'm not gonna retweet you or look at your tweets.
Powerful.
Absolutely.
What's honest?
Yeah.
Hey, it's honest. You
It's
know what I mean?
basically there so that when someone's the link, I can get the tweet and not ask to log in. You know.
okay, I like it. I like it.
You can my comics ring at aitcomics.com.
Hell yeah.
Occasionally.
Hell
Haven't
yeah.
done it in a while, but I'll get
Hell
back
yeah.
there.
Best slice of pizza in New York, Dan.
I feel like we talked about this. There's so much pizza.
Okay, all right. If you were gonna get a slice right now delivered to your face from anywhere in New York, like right at this exact moment,
Whatever's the fastest.
wow,
Wow.
you have a
There's so
teleporter. Every
many
pizza is
New York-
teleported to
New
your
York
face
pizza
right now.
New York pizza overrated.
All this,
No,
no,
it's
all
not
it's-
overrated.
It just is too many good. It's too many
So
good.
much high quality pizza.
all
you
good.
can't
Yeah.
All right,
go
all right.
wrong.
Yeah.
Worst,
Barrows is correct.
worst piece of
Correct
pizza
answer in
for me to not get. That's hyped up.
Little Caesars.
What?
I don't
A
know.
chain. Don't come to New York and get a chain pizza.
Okay.
Like, just don't do
Unless
it.
it's
All right.
Domino's.
Yeah. If you come to New York, we'll go to Arthur Ave.
There we
We'll go
go.
to John's on Bleecker Street.
There we go. See,
a good one.
that's what I wanted. I'm making a list. When I go to New York, I can just go eat pizza
Chicken twice.
and not have to
Come to New
interact with
York, we'll
anybody.
just
I can just get pizza without, just secretly get pizza. This is a secret pizza run.
I get you.
Michael.
Me? Who, me?
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
I got nothing to pitch.
That's
if
fine.
you want to follow me, it's at Micro525. At some point, I'll start up reporting or journalisming
Ooh.
again. Posting online again.
It's a booming industry. You should get
Yeah,
into it.
I hear. I'll get back in there. at
Definitely
some
leave
point.
your current job for it.
No. It's a fun little hobby project. Little YouTube videos here and there, whatever. But yeah, just at Micro525 if you want to follow me. And if you got some spare change in your pocket, you got $1 or two, you got nothing to do with it, donate it to the Cookie Brigade. It's a great cause. Money goes to children in hospitals, child's play. Yeah, always trying to help
Congrats
out.
on
So,
breaking 1 million.
Hell yeah.
we broke $1 million at
Let's
PAX East, raised over
go.
$80,000
Yeah.
in the course of the weekend. So very excited about that and want to continue that. So if you got a buck or two, you're not going to do anything with it. Why buy a pizza slice? Go give it to the kids.
Hell yeah. You love to hear it. You love to see it. Support Child's Play. Cookie Brigade.
Oh yeah.
Eric, close us out on the outros here.
Oh, let me run through the outro. I'm Eric. You can find me by day over at Destructoid.com, where I do a lot of blogging. Been writing a lot of Zelda lately, alongside all my PAX write-ups.
Weird. I
Heard
wonder
the
why.
Zelda game's hot, so apparently just got to write about it. Seriously though, I have enjoyed some of the stuff I've written over there recently, so please go read it. Also, by night, you can find me at the currently on hiatus Normandy FM. We are working on getting a near season up and running at some point, but you can find all of our backlogs of Mass Effect, Dragon Age, all that stuff back there. I'm also on Axe of the Blood God, a weekly independent RPG podcast with Kat Bailey and Nadia Oxford, where we just kind of talk about the RPGs of the day. And we've got a ton of good stuff coming up there too, including, I guess I'll just tease it here because there's no better place to do so. We're doing a charity stream again this year. We are still finalizing when that is going to happen, but that was a big event we did last year that went super well, and we would like to repeat it again this year. Brenden here was on it. Jesse was on it. We'll have to have a big time and have
Those
a good
clowns
time.
be moving.
Those clowns do be moving. So yeah, no, we'll have a good time. So yeah, go check all that stuff out. Check out everybody else's stuff too. It'll be a good time.
Hell yeah. Don't follow Jesse. He said no.
Do not contact me.
But please send any complaints about this episode to Jesse on Twitter.
100%. Yes, absolutely. Actually, yeah, going forward, I'm going to end every
You know
episode.
what?
Jesse
It was
is the-
messed up that I got heckled at every panel. I showed up to all y'all's panels, and I got heckled
You
at every
lived for
single
it.
one of
You
them.
lived for it. You enjoyed it. I know you did. That was your secret favorite moment of PAX.
Look, you got heckled, but not as much as Cam got heckled at our Tinder panel. For the crime of enjoying Master Chief as a person.
Oh, I like Master Chief. I'm going to shut up.
I didn't. No, that's not what I. No.
Yeah, I don't think that's what happened. I think you're misremembering that.
No, it
I've
was
got
the
you.
are they better than Master Chief or not that became the new scale that we measured everything by.
I just like when Mike got up there, my Mike got up there and said, Goofy from Kingdom Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Goofy
my highlight.
from Kingdom Hearts specifically.
That was my highlight of the show.
Not from the Goofy movie video game.
So, before we end, like I had alluded to, we end every episode with a little game. The leaderboard for the year, I'm not going to read off the Pass the Controller leaderboard because they are not here right now, and they are not going to get any points. But for the guest leaderboard, Jesse, I misspoke. You have 2 points this year. So Jesse currently the only guest on the leaderboard right now. So this is a chance for some of y'all to either steal some points from Jesse and get yourself up here, or build up Jesse's lead. So we're going to start with the OG game, which is a little game we like to call What's in the Box. What's in the Box, if you're wondering, is a game where I pull random games off the shelf behind me. I read the back of the box. Whoever gets the game first gets a point. You don't have to buzz in.
So disappointed.
You don't have to buzz in. You just have to shout out your guess. And I apologize for this mix of games that I pulled. But without further ado, game number 1.
Shovel Knight.
Incorrect. You do, in fact, need the full title of this game.
Mm-hmm.
Shovel Knight Treasure Trove.
Incorrect.
Oh,
That is good. I'm glad I didn't pull that game because I almost did.
that game's mid.
Seize the Truth.
I feel like I already know what this is.
Doesn't sound like you do. Doesn't sound like you got an answer.
Yeah, it's Babylon's Fall.
Incorrect. I wish I had a physical copy of Babylon's Fall. When a convicted man reveals the location of a murder victim, blank blank is called to revisit an impossible case of 2 simultaneous crimes. Pull no punches in this action noir thriller that put both your sleuthing skills and blank to the test.
Is this Judgment?
Oh,
Incorrect.
damn it.
Oh,
I was gonna say
thought it was
Lost Judgment.
Jesse steals the point. It is indeed
Oh
I was
Lost
gonna do
Judgment.
that too. Damn.
Can I get half a point?
No?
I have to defer
Yeah.
to the judge, Mike. Mike in the chat. Is there a 1 point for an incorrect for a non-full title?
Dan had me
The
like,
wrong
I
answer.
was like,
If
I was
there
trying to
I,
think of
I
the
couldn't. I
second
couldn't
crime.
think of the second. I couldn't think of the second name of the game.
if there wasn't also a game called Judgment, I may have been more willing to give you a point there.
Right.
We refer to Judgment as Judge Eyes in this house.
As Judge Eyes.
By its
That's the
Christian
Japanese
name.
title.
Okay.
Christian name.
Again, you do in fact
Born
need the
again
full
Christian.
title of game number 2.
Judgment.
Wheelman.
In this, I apologize.
Oh, sorry. Mike says let the man get his points.
All right.
Dan gets half a point.
All right.
Oh,
Mike,
Oh,
look,
that's-
we sent it to
Mike
Mike's
ruled.
ruling, and Mike said Mike ruled.
Yeah.
We'll give a parentheses 0.5 if
Thank
it
you.
comes into play later.
Mike,
You know, it's
Mike
there.
says, look, when are these guests going to be back on?
Damn, Mike
How
said
do you invite us,
No?
bro?
listen, I'm a stickler for the rules like this in games.
Yeah,
it's a
and
parentheses
Mike was
point.
the ruling.
It's a parentheses point. Also,
No,
Mike's the judge right now.
no.
Parentheses points function differently.
DM
Mike
says it's
failed
clear.
me.
I apologize again. This is probably a devil horns. When 2 heroes cross paths, the fate of the universe awakens. On a routine transport mission, blank blank's spaceship is attacked by the blank Federation.
Star Ocean, the Divine Force.
What the
my
fuck?
God. I was literally
My
about
guy?
to fucking say that. I'm
What?
not even kidding. I was like, what was the name of that Star Ocean game?
Damn.
I'm
Cam,
built
you're on the
different.
I would have
board.
never
I'm
gotten
built
that.
different.
I
Yeah, no.
never. Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine.
Hell yeah.
I
built
knew it was
different.
Star
Never in
Ocean.
my
I
life.
just didn't remember the freaking subtitle. The
I
Divine Force.
was like,
I'm
damn,
built
Brendan's a stickler
different.
for Star Trek. Who knew?
Who play? Why did you buy that? You don't need that.
Lucas
no
played
no
it.
one
Lucas,
needs that.
Lucas thought it was all right.
I want to fun fact you. What do you think this game is? It's fucking
Yeah, okay,
sealed,
okay,
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like 95% of your collection.
I've already seen that shit. On clearance.
Game number 3. You do, in fact, need the full title of this game. The era of myths gives way to an era of great turmoil.
Hmm.
The world of men is mired
Whoa.
in an age of war which rages for years on end.
Oh, Jesse, For Honor.
Incorrect. I appreciate the buzz-in, but incorrect.
Immortals Phoenix Rising.
Incorrect. A band of elite mercenaries calling themselves the blank blank arise amidst the flames and the chaos, their fates and valiant deeds to be sung in ages yet to come. But when all is said and done,
Stranger of Paradise. Final Fantasy
Redemption
Origins.
Reapers.
both incorrect. When all is said and done, will the name the blank blank come to signify hope or darkest tragedy?
Is this Berserk?
Incorrect.
Do you own the Berserk game? Okay. Never mind.
Wild Shot in the Dark. Is this Killzone Shadowfall?
Incorrect.
Weird.
Deep, strategic, real-time blank battles.
Reels?
Real-
Is this
Real-time
the
blank
Diofield Chronicle?
It is indeed
Oh
the
my
deal. That's my that's my
Wow,
address.
man,
What is
pull out
that?
the Best Buy
Oh,
sticker.
I was like, what?
It is a Best Buy sticker.
Is this Brenden doxing himself?
Is my address on there or just my name?
I mean, it was super
Just my
blown
name.
out, so it didn't matter either
It
way.
was just all your credit card.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Damn, Eric.
MLB
gets the
98
point.
is the
God
next
damn
one.
it. I was
Hey,
thinking,
that game was
I was
alright.
thinking, I was just like, man, Valkyrie Elysium, like those 3 games came. I thought
I
about
was
Valkyrie
thinking like
Elysium.
Triangle Strategy. Yeah.
I was thinking like
Oh, that
Rise
would have been
of
good.
Rome.
Triangle Strategy.
was
Yeah, I
like-
think.
Alex
Ooh,
Van
Rise,
Aken in the
that's a
chat
great game.
says, "I am Jesus Christ."
He also said Legacy of Goku.
Now, okay, this game has a. You need to get.
That long a title, huh?
You have to give me most of the title.
Oh god.
If in your first guess you give me the entire title, 2 points. But it has to be the same. You can't pause. It's a string. You're saying all at once. All legends have a beginning. Play as blank, operative blank blank, and trigger the events that lead up to blank blank blank.
Is this Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII something?
I'm gonna give you 2 points for almost getting that full
yeah.
title, baby.
Reunion.
I was so close. Let's
Is that what it
go.
is? It's Reunion?
Reunion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of that. I was about to pull the box out of my shelf though.
Dan with the 2-point
This one.
dunk.
I
All right, we have.
think I would have got 3 points for that.
Okay. Game number 5.
4, right?
Something like that.
4,
5.
Yeah.
4.
5. I have Lost
But it was-
Judgment, Star
Bryce got
Ocean,
one, I got
Diofield,
one.
Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay,
right,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Head to blank, where the free-spirited hunt for treasure never ends.
Dragon Quest Treasures.
I should have omitted the word treasure.
Let's
Apparently.
go! Oh!
Cam gets the point.
Sure.
All right, and we're gonna end on a fan favorite, a game we like to call Answer Unlocked, where I read different achievements/trophies for a game, and you have to guess the game based on that information. First person to get it correctly gets the point. Game number 1, Storm Survivor. Complete chapter 1. Incorrect.
Fortnite saved the world.
Incorrect. Marine Mates. Complete Chapter 2.
One Piece Odyssey.
Incorrect. Bug Buddies.
Voting game.
Complete
Bug
Chapter
Snacks.
3.
Bug Snacks.
Incorrect.
Oh.
Incorrect. I Can Fly. Complete Chapter 4.
It Takes Two.
Incorrect. Triumph for Trees. Complete Chapter 5.
Is this Kirby and the Forgotten whatever?
Does
Incorrect.
that game have achievements?
Nintendo games have achievements.
I don't know.
Some
I'm
of
just
them-
throwing shit
some
out
of them
there,
do
seeing what
have-
sticks.
Some of them do have in-game achievements.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Outriders.
Incorrect. Kitty Companion.
Is it East 8 La Cremosa of
No,
Dana?
it's not.
Okay.
Kitty
Is it
Companion.
Stranger of Paradise?
Incorrect. Complete Chapter 6.
Ray.
Incorrect. Children of Chess. Complete Chapter 7. I'm only continuing to do the chapter ones because I think the names of these are
Is it?
funny.
Is it very
Oh,
misleading?
is
Yes, it is
Psychonauts
very
2?
misleading. It's not Psychonauts 2.
Is it Final Fantasy VII remake?
Incorrect. In Love at Last. Complete Chapter 8. Feelings.
Is it?
Is this Killzone Shadowfall?
Incorrect.
Is it?
No one in the chat has it yet.
Is it Dragon Quest XI: Echoes of an Elusive Age?
Incorrect. But I was going to pull that instead of Treasures.
So I should have a point.
No, because we're not doing
No.
that game.
No.
Know how it works.
Oh, okay.
Painted Perfection. Complete Chapter 10. Zero to Hero. Complete Chapter 11.
Sifu?
No.
Balance Restored. Defeat
You didn't say.
blank.
You said nothing.
Oh, it's not Sifu, sorry.
I said okay.
Balan Wonderworld,
It
baby.
is indeed Balan Wonderworld.
Oh my god.
Let's go!
I don't know how any of
I didn't hear the.
Balance Restored.
Balance
is
Restored.
Balin and Lan use at the end of Balan Wonderworld to become Balance.
The name of those other
Wow.
achievements makes no fucking sense. Game number 2.
I can't wait to play that game. Sorry, God.
You should not.
You should wait to play that game.
Together Again. Complete all stages and rescue all blank blank.
Sonic Frontiers.
Incorrect.
Rayman
Disaster Report 4 Summer Memories.
No, I don't know what you said, but it's wrong. I gotta skip some of these.
Bro, you don't know Disaster Report? That's disappointing.
Oh, Disaster Report. Yes.
That's a good
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
Legendary Peacekeeper. Complete the game without restarting on hard difficulty.
Jack 2.
Incorrect.
Restarting.
Halo Infinite.
Incorrect. We Can Work It Out. Don't attack for the first 30 seconds of a boss battle.
Is this
Fury.
Oh, that was
Incorrect.
yeah.
Is this
Okay.
Sifu?
Incorrect.
I would say a
Haven? Is it Haven?
Incorrect. Beefed Up. Activate all ability boosts at the same time.
Hi-Fi Rush?
Incorrect.
I was about
Anthem.
to say that.
Incorrect.
And
Hades.
Incorrect. 7 golden letters. Complete any stage with a 100% absorption rate.
Absorption.
This is Overwatch.
Is this the gunk?
Incorrect. Incorrect again.
Absorption rate?
Is this a
Uh,
Katamari game? Is this
What is this?
Katamari? We Love Katamari?
Incorrect. And I will save you, it is not a Katamari game.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
I'm convinced that Moises is just listing games that he enjoys in the chat right
Yeah, he's
now.
on, he's
Is
on
this
list
Killzone
of video games on
Shadowfall?
Wikipedia.
Absorption
Killzone
rate.
My
You-
absorption rate.
You only live twice. Complete any stage with just a single death.
Is it fucking Neon White?
Incorrect. Fuel is expensive. Complete any stage by dashing only 9 times or less.
Recore.
Incorrect. But getting
Close.
closer.
Mighty Number 9.
It is indeed Mighty Number 9. Mike gets a point, baby.
Wow, what
Oh.
the fuck?
That's
hate
amazing.
that was closer.
And the final game to close the show out. You do indeed need the entire title of this game.
Oh, good. Good. We've been very good at that so far.
The GOAT. Achieve the highest true skill rating possible in any ranked online game mode.
Madden 23.
Incorrect.
It's like true skill. What is it, like FIFA? FIFA 23?
Incorrect.
NHL 23.
I'll give you a hint. It does not have a number in the title.
Okay.
The Hall of Famer has won 50 plus non-consecutive ranked tournaments.
Rocket League?
Incorrect. The Widowmaker shut out opponents in 5 plus non-consecutive games, any settings, in ranked online play.
Not Overwatch?
Overwatch?
Incorrect.
Overwatch Origins Edition?
It's not any version of Overwatch.
Okay.
NFL
Overwatch Game of the Year?
Blitz the League.
Incorrect.
The Bigs?
Incorrect.
Is it a sports game?
I can't answer this question. It's
Oh my
too
God.
revealing
Esport.
information.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Incorrect.
Roller Drome.
Incorrect. The Veteran. Rack up 10 plus hours of offline gameplay time.
Offline. What is that?
What is that?
I hate this.
Y'all can log off.
The Owner. Every character in the game has been unlocked. The Tailor.
Sonic
Rainbow Six
Sonic
Siege.
Free
Incorrect.
Riders.
Incorrect.
NBA Streets Volume
No.
2.
Incorrect. The Tailor. Every outfit in the game has been unlocked.
Dead or Alive
Tony
3.
Hawk.
Mario
American-
Hoops 3-on-3.
Is it Dead or Alive?
There are no
Incorrect.
numbers.
Incorrect.
There are no numbers in the title.
Oh, no.
WWE Battlegrounds.
Incorrect. The Tourist. Every level in the game has been unlocked. Unlocked Mark.
Mario Golf Super
Wait,
Rush.
is this Hitman the Assassination Trilogy?
Incorrect.
Oh.
Unlocked Carmen. Beat the All-Star Circuit or ...
Sonic All-Stars Transformed.
Need for
Incorrect.
Speed Unbound.
Is this a Forza Horizon game?
Incorrect.
Sonic Team Racing.
Those have
Sonic
numbers
Team
in it,
What the
Racing.
fuck is Carmen?
There's
Sonic
no
Team
numbers?
Racing.
No numbers.
Sonic Team Racing.
No.
Crash Team Racing?
No. Unlocked Kumi. Beat the Rookie Circuit or... Unlocked Jurgen. Beat the Amateur Circuit or...
Oh, is this Chocobo GP?
Incorrect. Unlocked
Damn it.
Soleiman. Beat the Pro Circuit or... Unlocked Cassidy. Beat the Rookie Circuit with default settings in less than 14.5 minutes.
Is
Or...
this Wipeout?
I want to know what these other... the ors...
Is this a real game?
Carmen.
Is this a real game? Like,
It is indeed a real game.
Hot Wheels Unleashed, or whatever that game was called.
Incorrect.
Is this a game we've played? Like any of us have played, potentially?
Mm,
How would
I'm
you
gonna
know
say that if none of us have played it,
Just based on our taste.
we definitely know this game.
Okay.
Do we?
Disney Speedstorm.
Incorrect. The Graduate earned the highest score on every drill in training mode. The Cream Puff beat the Amateur Circuit on default settings. The
Is
Average...
this Ollie World?
Incorrect. The Average Joe beat the Rookie Circuit on default settings.
Is it Trackmania?
Incorrect. The Natural. Use every
Steep.
character to beat any of the tournament circuits. Incorrect. The chat is going wild with all these incorrect answers. All right, I think we're gonna have to dig into. I think we're gonna have to dig into other facts of this game because
We read all the
we are
achievements.
done with achievements.
Gears of War.
Wait, is this SSX?
Incorrect.
Okay.
At one point we were talking about shutouts, and then the other
Oh.
point we were talking
wait,
about.
Steep?
is this
Is it Steep?
is this Kart Rider?
Is
Oh.
Kart Rider the name of a game? No, it's not.
Oh.
I don't know.
Garfield
Race.
Kart Racer? No, it's not Steep, right?
No, it's
Incorrect.
not Steep. What's the other one? What's the other Ubisoft one?
Riders Republic.
Wait, is this Garfield Kart Furious Racing?
Incorrect.
Oh
This
my god, that would have been so funny.
this 2006 game, simulation game, was, I believe, yes, it was originally
Need for Speed Underground.
incorrect. It was originally an Xbox 360 exclusive, which was then
BMX Triple X.
Blur.
incorrect.
Original Xbox. That was 2002.
Pure.
And
What
Is it
second?
Syndicate?
Trials Fusion?
all incorrect. And then a year later was ported to the Wii in 2007.
Tony Hawk's Ride.
Dead Rising.
Incorrect. Dead Rising. Yes, a simulation game. Dead
Resident
Rising.
Evil 4.
Incorrect.
Uh,
Simulation
versus
game is very
Capcom
key
2.
to figuring this out.
Simulation. From
Is
Xbox
this
exclusive
is this
to
Little
Wii?
Inferno?
Incorrect.
Guitar Hero 3, Legends of Rock.
Fusion Frenzy.
All incorrect. The Metacritic score for the Xbox 360 version
Yeah,
is
that's gonna really help
81,
me.
while the Wii Metacritic score is a cool 68.
Wait, what was the Xbox one?
81.
Like that's gonna help.
81.
IGN gave this game a 7.8. Game Informer gave the Xbox version an 8 and the Wii version a 6.
It's
The Legend
not
of
Little
Zelda
Inferno.
Wind Waker.
All incorrect.
Okay.
Let's see.
Pure?
Let's see. Let's
Was
see.
that the name of it?
What was it?
Pure?
I
Incorrect.
said Pure.
Oh, just.
Simulation.
Sure.
Monster
Is it Need for
Supercross.
Speed? Need for Speed Carbon.
No.
Payback.
Do not look at the
Midnight
chat because
City.
Andrew has gotten the game. So do not look at the
Minimize your
chat.
Is it Burnout Paradise?
Incorrect.
Oh, I
I
forgot about
minimized the
Burnout
chat. I
Games.
can't see it anymore.
Is
I
it a
wasn't looking at the
Burnout
chat.
game?
I will answer that. I'll
is it
say
Burnout
this.
3 Takedown?
It is not a racing game.
Oh wow.
Let's just
Okay,
clear some of
what?
that off the board.
Oh.
Okay.
But you kept saying simulation. Is it like Civ?
Well,
4?
They said
s-
circuit. There was
simulation
circuit.
in regards to, like, you know, racing games are often simulation. You know, I think Madden and FIFA would be considered like simulation sport games.
NHL The Hits.
Incorrect.
You said this was on 360 and then the Wii.
then Wii.
Is it
Correct.
the only
That's-
platforms this has ever been
that
on?
is-
I believe it is
That is so
backwards
wild.
compatible on the Series X currently if you want to play it and download it for $15.
Is it FIFA Street?
Incorrect.
Mm.
Its announcement in March 2006 led to confusion and surprise due to its significantly different style from this developer's previous projects. It received generally positive reviews upon release, with praise particularly directed at its simplicity, replayability, and detailed visuals.
Mirror's Edge.
Simplicity
Is
and
it
the
The
simulation.
Blob?
Incorrect.
Is it World of Goo?
Incorrect.
No, because that was on like iPad and stuff too.
The chat seems to have come across and figured it out.
I'm avoiding the chat.
Yeah, I have the chat minimized.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
don't,
even know
I
there
don't
was
have
a
that
chat.
at
No,
all.
we're just talking in Discord. We're just hanging out.
2006 Xbox and Wii game. Xbox version clearly better than the Wii version. It produced confusion when it was announced because it's different art style from.
And it was announced in the same year. It
Oh,
came
The
out.
Legend of Zelda Wind Waker.
I said that already.
God, and there were only like 4 video games for the Wii, so I don't know why I can't think of it.
Red Steel.
This game runs off of a proprietary game engine.
Oh, so it's not Fortnite.
Death Stranding.
The title of this game has
GTA
the
Tour.
developer's name in it.
Fuck.
Rockstar Table Tennis.
It is indeed
second.
a point for Dan Berlin.
Wow.
It is Rockstar Table Tennis.
That's 2006? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Damn.
I had
came to
no
Wii?
idea. I had no idea that was on the Wii. No idea.
I think it came to Wii with like motion controls as being the reason why they
That
brought
were
it
bad,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, would
So
And
Yeah,
why
I
it
had
would
no
be
i- I
why
had
it
no
would get
idea it was
worse
on the Wii.
reviews.
I can't believe that was on, or that was in 2006.
yeah, I couldn't. It wasn't a launch title, right? It was just early in the 360, I think. I don't remember what year the 360
Honestly, I
came
should
out
probably
now.
buy. I should probably buy that before like Rockstar could totally delist that game.
I don't think it has any licensed stuff in it. I think that wouldn't get delisted for any reason. The fact that it's backwards compatible on Series X makes me think it's fine to
Played it
exist
not that
there.
long ago. It still plays really well. If
Yeah.
I'm being honest.
I mean, from what I was reading as I was looking through this stuff, it seems like it is a pretty good game for a table tennis game. But
like
that'll do it for this cool 1 hour that definitely didn't run over. Follow all these lovely people, interact with these lovely people, read the stuff they do, watch the stuff they do. You know, be a nice person. You can find me. You know where to find me, or don't find me. I don't really care. We appreciate you. We will see you next time. Take care.